now we're on to the tutorial. The lighting looks really weird. I went to take off my eye makeup from work this morning and it was pretty bright. Yeah, there were some clouds, but it was really bright and see the sun. And then I came back down to film this and now it's cloudy, and it was like 15 minutes when I did that. So it's gonna be a race against the clock, but still, this is only gonna be an eye tutorial. This is simply an eye tutorial. I think you'll still, at the very least, you'll see my eyes. So to get started, I wanted to take a step back. This video is going to be for people like this video is for my friends and family who have to deal with me talking about makeup all day long and who stare at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I spend too much time on YouTube. Okay, so the first step, it has to be eye primer. I'm using the Ulta Matte Eye Primer in Nude. You can use concealer for this. This is what goes on before the eyeshadow. Some people will just use concealer and they'll bring the concealer up to their lids as they're blending it out. I like to use an actual eye primer. I just feel like concealer is just a little too heavy for me to have on my eyes because whatever reason, but as long as you have something on your eyes, I think you will be absolutely fine. You just need a little something for the shadows to stick down really well on. It's kind of why you would want to use a face primer. And also this will help your shadows be vibrant and last longer on your face. And all the eye products that I'm using will be listed down below. Alright, I'm not going to mess with the lighting. It is what it is. Guys, forgive me. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be okay. So next obviously is eyeshadow. I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm using this palette because of how dupeable it is. This palette is a favorite by so many, and it has sparked a lot of people or companies to create dupes of this palette. So yes, this palette is like $45. Yes, it's worth the hype. I don't even think I should bother filming a worth the hype video about this, and you don't know what I'm talking about because I haven't made one of those videos yet. But because it is so easy to find a dupe for this palette, I am going to leave a bunch of dupe options down below. Not affiliate links, not making money if you click on one of the links and buy it. It's just because I don't think that people who don't really know anything about makeup want to just drop $40 on an eyeshadow palette that they may never touch again. So that's why dupe options are down there. Pretty much, you can do this with pretty much any eyeshadow palette, but a lot of people are using warm tone. That's kind of been the trend for a few years, and they do look good on a lot of people, so you can pretty much find these styles anywhere. So to begin with, I'm setting my eyes with the shade Tempura here, and I'm just using a e.l.f. blending brush to set this. Usually I have like another like flatter brush, but you just and I'm just gonna dust this all over my lid. So I just used the lightest kind of the shade closest to my skin tone, Tempura, and the palette to set the primer. Now some people don't set their eye primer. Sometimes I've noticed some people, they just like how tacky the primer is, and they feel like by setting it with a powder that matches their eyelids, it just kind of ruins the whole point of doing it. So I would say try this first with setting. So I would recommend trying this first, or doing a like eye looks first with setting your eye, setting your primer, and then if you don't like that, try it without setting your primer. I think just setting it makes it easier to blend, but you have to find out what works for you. Next, this is where things are gonna get really easy. Like I said, this is an easy eye look. I want to have my friends and family to be able to watch this video and be like, oh, that's all it is? I was like, yes, that's all it is. Because they will see me do crazy looks and they're like, they look at me like, wow, your makeup's really pretty. And I'm like, oh yeah, this was like da 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 da. And they're like, yeah, I can never do that. And I'm thinking in my head like, yes, you could. Yes, you can, guys. I know you can. I believe in you. Okay. I want to do a look that is pretty standout-ish. I want you guys to really be able to see the look, just so you, when you sit down and do this, you know what you're doing. And so for that sake, this is going to be a little crazy, but I'm going to take red ochre, and guys, we're just going to tap it. I'm going to tap it twice, 3 times. And you always want to tap off the excess so you don't get fallout underneath your eyes. And I am just going to put this just going to put this like on the outside of my lid, and I'm kind of patting and I'm kind of blending it out, and I'm also using a Wet n Wild blending brush. These brushes are $1 and I have like 200 of them because I love them. So I'm kind of just keeping this towards the outside and kind of patting and swirling. I'm kind of just wanting to build up. What you're doing at this point is you just want to build up the color to the intensity that you want it. I like bolder eye looks, so I'm gonna kind of not even following my own thing. I like a lot of bright bold colors, so I am building this up quite a bit, but you don't have to do this. You can do a halo eye as basic and as natural as you want to. This is more so teaching you the concept of halo eyes, and then you can choose all the shadows that you want to do. So I'm going to take red ochre again and fill the halo. And so I'm going to do the same thing I just did, but I'm going to do on the inside corner of my eye. So I don't know if you can see this closer. Yeah, so right in the edge of your lid, again, doing this pouting, this patting and dust motion. I'm trying to adjust the way it's kind of best to hold your brush, but I don't follow my own beliefs. And if you notice, we're not going into the center of the lid. I am avoiding the center of my eyelid as much as I possibly can. This is so far we've only used 2 shadows. Is where we're at. Okay. So I've been kind of slowly building up the same exact eyeshadow. As you get better with makeup, you'll learn to see how you can change an eyeshadow just by either building it up a lot or not building it up at all. So this is getting pretty intense, I think, at this point. I'm going to try blending it out actually a little bit more because this is kind of looking bad. But yeah, I've just been using the same red ochre shadow in this palette. This is just a warm, dark kind of a brick red, and it's so pretty. And I'm just using the same blending brush, kind of going back and forth motions and patting on the shadow. Just remember, if you tap into a palette and you notice a lot of powder, tap it off. You want to get the excess off and you want to build up slowly. Okay, so I was kind of not doing intent. I was trying not to do before I explain it, but I'm still using the same exact brush. I am bringing the color into my crease. So if you kind of like look straight ahead and you kind of like stab your eye like that, that's where your crease is. And so I haven't added any new product. I am just blending it into the crease, kind of making like a bridge to the side. Kind of. And so by just blending it out towards the line, it's just diffusing it, and I don't want to make that line super harsh. And just so I have less control, I'm holding the brush as far away as I can. Holding like this. Because the farther away your hand is from like the bristles of the brush, the lighter your hand is naturally going to be. So really make sure that your hand is, really try to make sure that your hand is as far away from the actual brush as much as possible, especially as you're learning, because then you won't be putting so much pressure and be able to do that slow, gradual build up a lot easier. Now it's time for the fun, glittery, glittery part. There are many ways to do the inside of the halo. You can do just a lighter matte, you can do a shimmer, you can do a glitter. Generally, people do matte on the in and outside and then a sparkle in the middle. Basically, like it's a halo. You have the darker shade on the outside and the lighter one on the inside, because when you have a lighter shadow in like the center of your eyes and it just brings your face up, and it just brings your face and your eyes up. It helps make your eyes look bigger and brighter, and so that's what we're really playing with this halo look. Makeup so much now is not so much about covering your imperfections and trying to hide. Makeup is more now enhancing your natural beauty and playing with light and shadows. So that's kind of what the halo eye look accomplishes. So we're going to do this two ways. First way is I'm going to take this is a Morphe brush, so this is the Y18. So just to demonstrate the two different ways that most people will apply a bright shimmery, just any shimmer shade or metallic, sparkly shade to their eye, most of the time they'll use a brush. And for this glimmer in the palette, Premier, it's kind of like this pinky gold shadow, and then there's Primavera underneath, which is more of a gold shadow. And Premier is really nice and it's gold, but I love Vermeer so much more, so we're gonna use Vermeer. So I'm gonna do, whoa, accidentally got much on my brush. So I'm gonna take the flat side of the brush and I'm gonna dab into Vermeer. Again, we're gonna tap off, tap, and after my side, put it on. So I'm just gonna apply it into the center of my lid. Then you might be thinking, if you finger swatch Vermeer and you swatch it on your hand. So here's a swatch of Vermeer. So you might be thinking, wow, this is really shimmery and bright and pigmented on my hand. Well, why does it not look like that on my eye? And the biggest reason for that is that this brush is not as dense as your finger. You're probably not using as much pressure. I barely swiveled into Vermeer. So a way for people to kind of get this kind of intense pigmentation with a brush with the shadow is to use a setting spray. You could use an actual setting spray, you could use water. Don't use perfume, that probably interact well with wouldn't go well with your eyes. So for this, I'm going to be using the Ulta Beauty Illuminating Setting Spray. This is like $8 or $9. I'm just not a fan of the setting spray, so I've kind of just made it my wedding brush setting spray. I know a lot of people will use the Max Fix Plus, but that spray is like $20-$30, and I'm not spending $20-$30 on a fancy liquid to wet my makeup brushes. I'm just not going to. And I'm just using this one because it's built up. So to do this, I just took more Vermeer on my shadow. I did not tap off the excess. I'm going to take the setting spray, and I'm going to try to get it not on everything around me. And I'm just spraying my brush. You're just literally spraying your brush, getting it wet and everything all around you, and you're just going to put it exactly where you first put the shadow. Here we go. So that's one lid. See, it's really intense and pigmented. So the second way to get the really nice, intense halo eye center in the middle, and you don't want to buy a setting spray because you don't know what setting sprays are, and you don't want to waste your money on something you don't really know what works, or you don't want to spend $2 at Target to buy a spray bottle. Then you can go the even easier route and use your finger. Now, not gonna lie, the middle finger is really good. This middle finger guy is really good for doing this. I don't know why the middle finger is so popular. I try to use other fingers, and no, the middle finger is where it's at. So I'm gonna open this up. So I'm just going straight into Vermeer with my finger, and I have like a finger imprint in Vermeer because of how often I do it this way. I'm just gonna tap it directly onto my eye. Just gonna pat, pat, pat. I do this a few times. I do a last swivel. Okay, so problem with the finger technique is that using the biggest finger on your hand besides your thumb is that it's way less precise. Like you would probably get, so that's the wrong brush. So if you were using the big white walnut brush, this is kind of the rule you get, how it pretty much covered up everything. And honestly, I think they actually do like the setting spray one more. Because it does have more of the wet look, where this one's just like, hey, it's lightness. Wow, I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually like the side with the brush and setting spray more. This is also a illuminating setting spray, so I don't know if that's making a difference at all. I just grabbed it. I'm not using expensive setting spray to put this on my face. I'm just use expensive setting sprays to set your face, not to set your, you know what I'm saying. So if you notice now, there is a lot less red ochre on my eyes. So we're gonna conquer that. With going back into the brush that we were originally using. I hope this is the original brush I was using. I have so many different colors on my brushes, I can't tell. But yeah, we're just gonna go back into red ochre, and we're just gonna do the same exact thing. We are just going to go in here. We are just going to go back into red ochre, and we're just gonna pat and we're gonna blend. Kind of cover up the little part of the halo. I like to have my halo to be like pretty small, just to kind of keep it really focused on like the center of the eye. But yeah, you can definitely go like giant ass turtle shell like I did on this eye. You can definitely do that. That's just kind of not my, it's kind of not the way I just don't want to do it. So I'm not tapping off my brush. I'm a hypocrite. Remember, what you guys really have to remember with makeup and eyeshadow specifically is just that you're going back and forth doing the exact same thing until it gets the look you desired. So we have used 3 shadows for this one look, and I don't know if I want to go any further or not. There's definitely ways that we can vamp this up, and there's definitely ways you can tone it down. If you don't like how intensely bright this veneer is on the lids, or like just any light shade shimmery of this, you don't have to use setting spray. You can use the brush as is, or you can use your finger if you don't want it as intense. But if I'm going to do makeup, I want it to be intense, or I don't. But when I'm doing a halo eye specifically, I really want my makeup to look intense. You don't have to do this. You got to do what's you. But yeah, also I did want this to be more intense today because I want you to be able to see it on camera. So you can call it good here. You can definitely put mascara on and call it good. But for my sake, we're not going to do that. I want to put something on the lower lash line because, especially for me, when I was getting to makeup, the lower lash line was very intimidating because I felt like anytime that I tried before, I would screw it up. But I'm going to be bigger this time. Well, let's go into a 4 shade. I want to take Raw Sienna, which is, nope, that's burnt orange. I want to take Raw Sienna, just kind of like this little warm, kind of like a warm tan shade, with this tiny little pencil brush. This guy is tiny, you can barely see it. And and the reason I'm using such a tiny brush, you can use flat brushes, but I'm just going to start that, not a complete inner corner of my eye, but like almost. And I'm just going to sweep this on the lower lash line. And I'm just going to go the entire way through. Now granted, keep in mind that this is going to look a little weird because I was wearing like gray eyeliner earlier and I couldn't get that completely off, at least quickly enough. But I just feel like when you have a really bright look like this, you just need a little something on the lower lash line. Just a little something. I feel like it really balances out the look. And kind of, I don't know, something about even just a light, like just a barely there eyeshadow underneath, especially for a halo eye look, just really brings everything together. I just take the same brush I used before, and this can probably turn into a hot mess, I don't really care. And we're just going to dab it again to Vermeer. It is a little wet, but I tried wiping it off the back of my hand. And we're just going to take this right in the inner corner, right there. Where your eye boogers go, you know, when you wake up and you have your eye boogers, that's where we're putting it. We're just kind of stamping it in there. See, I never know whether or not to do this with halo eyes. Like, I don't really know if you should do this with halo eyes, because then it's just kind of like dark, light, but the inner corner highlight is just so more important. The inner corner highlight is just so important to me because, again, it lifts your it lifts the eyes up. It lifts people's eyes up, makes them look at your eyes. It makes your eyes, your beautiful eyes, the center of attention. So the halo, not halo, so the inner corner highlight does the exact same thing. You just gonna keep taking from here, and I'm gonna put it underneath my brow bone. So like the arch of it right here, we're just gonna ruffle it right there, and it's going with the same thing I just said. We're bringing the eyes up, we're making your eyes the center of attention, making you look bright, awake, and like a glowy fairy goddess. Unless you don't want to be a glowy fairy. I hope you see how work appropriate this look could be. Now for this look, we could do eyeliner, we could do false lashes, we could definitely amp this look up, but we're not going to do that. I am instead going to take a very affordable mascara. This is the Essence False Lash Princess. This is the green one, so it's the, I don't know how this one, there's a purple one, and I think even an orange one that looks exactly that. I don't know what it's false lash effect. Essence has two other mascaras exactly like this, except where the details are green on this one, there's like a purple one and maybe an orange one, but I like the green one. Green one's where it's at. So I'm just going to put mascara on. So that's it for today's video. I hope you really enjoyed this basic halo eye tutorial. Like I said, there are many ways you can jazz this up, and there's many ways you can tone it down. You can do this with the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. You can use this with a drugstore palette. The possibilities for the halo look is endless. This look is less about the colors used, and it's more about how just easy it is to do. Yes, I know this video is going to be long, but with practice, or you could honestly with practice, you could probably get this eyeshadow look down in like 5 minutes. And I'm only saying 5 minutes because I feel like mascara is half the application time. So let me know down in the comments below, what looks do you see on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter that you just feel really intimidated by? Or if you just see someone walking down the street, you're just like, how did they even do that on their face? Like, it's really just crazy intimidating to you. Let me know kind of what those looks are, or tag me in them on Instagram, Twitter, or if you somehow follow my Facebook, or you're just someone I know, show me on Facebook too. Just anywhere, let me know what things you want me to do tutorials of next. I'm not the greatest makeup artist, but I definitely do love a challenge. And then just, again, subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. I hope to finally have the latte palette, the latte palette by Dominique Cosmetics. Hopefully, fingers crossed, up next week. It was just a way bigger, crazy problem and everything that I couldn't get it out this week, guys. But it will be coming soon, so stay tuned, and I'll see you later. Have joy. Over everything. Now the sun's coming out again, so my light is getting better. Thank you, sunlight. Maybe I should have been more patient. I don't know.